Rinky dink. I am back. I am back. It's been about 2 weeks, I think. Shit. Sorry, guys. I had a lot going on. The personals, everything's cleared up now, and I am back for good. And boy, oh boy, do I hate the algos. I just fucking hate them. Just sick of them. Just sick of them. Today's volume, I've seen a lot of shit. Seen a lot of shit in this market, but I think today really fucking did it for me. This algo has been on since Friday afternoon, and it's just been kind of a relentless, endless offer in the S&P futures, and it is still fucking on. They won't let this thing breathe at all. It's so annoying. Volume today was worse than yesterday, which was the worst in over a month and a half. And it's just, when volume drops, you can really see the bullshit in this market. It's pretty incredible. It's like, the tide goes out and you can see, all those little creatures. That's kind of what happens in the market too. Let's see. Let's go quickly through some of these names. Look at fucking Google. Huge breakout. Nope. Rejected. Down literally all fucking day. Just slow bleed out all fucking day, ends red. What they did to Apple right before the open, they spiked it. These fucking clowns. They spiked it $1 right before the bell on what? 122,000 shares. Market opens, 2.9 million shares, just completely stops the rally. Dump it. Sold it all fucking day. All day. Let's see, Meta, this is a classic. Let's see, so they did the opposite they did to Apple. They dumped it right before the close on 13,000 shares. Next candle, 500,000 shares on open, straight up. And then news comes out midday, then it kind of sits, it's fine. It's sitting, and then news comes out, they're expanding their ad to support more content or creators on Reels, which is a direct competition to TikTok, which is still massive. The thing fucking spikes to 234.85. Immediately right back fucking down on no volume. Million shares up, 300,000 down. Then it sat, and then it fucking finally caught a bid around 11:20 and just fucking straight up hits highs 235. Sits, nope, reject, sell it all fucking afternoon. On what? On good news. Let's see what other fucking tomfoolery we had. Goldman Sachs. Oh yeah, the headlines this morning were regional bank fears worries are back in the market, which is why we're down initially. And then what fucking happens? Goldman Sachs sells off $4 or $5, immediately right back to where it started, then kind of chopped around, goes fucking green, and then just slow bleed out the rest of the afternoon. Let's see. The fucking golden child of all this. Not the golden child, but the number one indicator, KRE. Look at that fucking name. So worries this morning, that's the regional bank ETF. Opens down a bit, tanks on the open, kind of rallies back. Afternoon ramp, goes green, and then just slow bleed back to red. Western Alliance Bancorp, same thing. Almost every bank went green today, and at no point did it take the S&P green, or even up more than 5 ticks off the lows. Absolute tomfoolery today. It's very frustrating and annoying. Just endless. Oh yeah, then let's see. We're right at 151. Yeah, 151. ES is sitting near high, 41, 42, just sitting there, out of fucking nowhere. Literally nowhere. 5,000 shares dump. ES from 42 down to 35. And then it just grinds right back up, tests it, right back down. And then the rest of the afternoon, just laid on it. Didn't let it breathe, just laid on it. There's a record short in ES, and tomorrow is CPI, and we are up against massive resistance, and yet they're still fucking selling this thing. I did talk to someone about how it could be a hedge, but I don't think people fucking hedge using futures. Maybe future options, not straight up futures. I just don't think that's you have unlimited loss if you're wrong. If this thing rallies 200 points, you're completely cooked. There's no downside risk to your hedge. Fucking insanity. There are some positives, I guess. Let's see. Rum has had a hell of a bounce on that bullshit Culper report when they claimed that all their numbers are false. Tanked it down to 750. I added. If you check my timeline, you'll see. Basically straight fucking up and back through those highs. And now we're pushing to a potential breakout zone. Rum looks fucking ripe. Huge volume on this move. Strong as can be. I love it. I love this name. We got in about $1.50 ago. Yeah, we took some heat. Thanks, Culper. You continue to suck balls. But I appreciate the shares, man. Appreciate you. Keep doing dumb reports. Thank you. Let's see. I think I made a fucking shit ton. He did back when was it VERU had all that bullshit medicine that said it basically cure. I don't remember, but basically it went from like $5 to $25, and then back down to now $5. But he came out with a bullshit report like, well, he was early. But around no, he was wrong. His report was wrong. And he was early, but ultimately the price ended up back down. But he got fucking slaughtered on that short for at least a short period of time. But I made a shit ton off that one thanks to him. He tanked at like $3. I was buying it and it rallied 10 from there. So suck it. I want to talk about Nanix, NNOX. This I've never really heard of this company before, but randomly popped up on my timeline like a month ago. I casually looked at it like, holy shit, that thing's just slow death. It was at like $5-6. It's at $16.95 now. They got basically they are trying to reinvent X-rays, which is a tall task to do, but I guess I was doing some research. Everybody's calling them a complete fraud company, and they're total bullshit and all this other hoopla about them. And this thing, I think it spiked to like $70 one day, and then it's been on a death march ever since. But they actually got fucking approved. So every single person who shat on this thing for that long, dead wrong, and you probably cost investors a lot of fucking money by your continued bashing. Just admit you're wrong and we'll move on. That's fine. But I got in around 10. I do think what's going to happen is they did this shelf offering 40 million shares. And then they won't even let fucking ES go up $1. Not one fucking dollar. You guys are just fucking annoying. Just annoying. It's all price, man. I'll tell you. I'll talk about that in a minute. Sorry. Nonix did a shelf offering. We all know how that went with all these other companies like Nvidia did one. Everybody's like, oh, it's going to fucking 100, yeah. Woo. And then it fucking rallied 180 points. When you see a company do that and that's the stock reaction, when other companies do it, it's usually the stock reaction too. So just kind of keep that in mind when people start doing shelf offerings, because the reaction of basically what it is look, we may need some funds. We don't need it right this second, but we want to be able to. They're basically authorizing themselves to raise cash via bonds or shares, publicly or privately, and to do the shelf offering. It's like, we don't know when or if we're even going to need this, but we want to be able to have that door open. And in times of uncertainty like we're in right now with the fucking economy, it's like the smartest thing you could probably do is get authorization now while things are still okay with stocks. And then, if you need to pull on it, then you do it. It's really smart. But of course, the crash boys were all, they just don't understand it, I guess. And they just look for any excuse to sell, just like this fucking algo. Even though it's getting fucking slaughtered, and we're literally sitting so close to a giant breakout, and they're still fucking, I don't know, whatever. That's probably why. So anyways, keep an eye on. Oh, so I think it's gonna happen. So they did this shelf offering, 40 million shares. Stock dipped a little bit and then rallied all the way back, actually, because that's actually the day I got in, I think, or right around then, because I got it around 10. I think it tanked to 10, and then I think it closed at like 13, 14 bucks. But then they came out last, I think on Friday, and said, we're actually not going to do that right now. We're going to allow this SK Korea, I think it's some Korea fund who funded them initially. We're going to allow them to sell their shares when they have to, which I think they're long $18 or something like that. And then they have warrants for $20, so it's like 5 million shares. So I think probably what's going to happen is they're going to let these people bail. This thing's probably going to rally to like $22, and they'll have some big sell orders hit, and it'll be SK getting out. And then they'll probably wait a little bit, and then they'll reintroduce the shelf offering for 40 million. I think this is a little bit of fuckery, so be wary of that. I think we had trim. This is starting to look a little toppy, so I'll end up probably trimming. I might trim some right now in the after hours. Let's see what the bid is. Yeah, I'm gonna sell some right here. It's bid 1631. Yeah, I'll sell some here. So yeah, but keep an eye on that. And then when that happens, I think the same thing's gonna happen, where it's gonna dip or a stupid amount, and then that's when you buy more. I mean, there's only the float on this thing is like not much. Shit, Interactive Brokers, they even have that info. I think it's only like 110 million shares or something. Yeah, this fucking algo is so annoying. Just sell it. You want to buy, sell it. Non-X float. Just really stupid algo. Just a really, really stupid algo. Let's see. I don't think short interest is that much. Sorry, I'll find it here in a minute. Short interest 15%. I mean, this is probably a little bit. It's probably from a week ago. Shares outstanding, please. Shares outstanding, please. Well, I guess I'll have to do the old-fashioned way and just calculate it. Calculator. The market cap is 852,190,000 ish. Divide that by what's the price? 1630 ish. So 52 million float. 52.2. So if they add 40 mil. Again, they're not going to do it all at once. It's mixed shelf, so they could sell, if this thing rallies to $30, they can sell 1 million shares and raise 30 mil. Like that. And this thing averages, I think, it used to average actually pretty dog shit volume, 0.5 mil a day. But if this thing catches fire and it becomes, a couple billion market cap, it's going to trade a few mil a day because market makers are going to get all creamy and take over because that's the way they do it. So they'll double their float essentially. Back when this thing was hopping, it was like 3-4 million shares a day. So anyways, if this thing pops, they can slowly offload. They're not just going to do it all at once. That's why it's a mixed shelf, not a complete offer. So keep an eye on that. Wait for them to, I assume that's what they're going to do. And it's all speculation, but if they do that and it tanks, it might be a good oppo to get in. Oh man, I'm gassed. It's been a while. My lungs just aren't there. All right, let's see what else. What's this guy doing? That's weird. Novix, my boy, my baby. Boy, oh boy. Sorry I wasn't around for the biggest dog shit sell-off I've ever seen in my life day. God, that was brutal, huh? So day of earnings, they came out. Really strong presentation in my mind. Tempered expectations, timeline crystal clear. Didn't say what their yields were on production, but said they were way better, which is why they beat production numbers. Think about it. Said they'll never talk about yield. I don't think many companies do, manufacturing or chip makers or anybody else like that talks about their yields either. And things should be up and running in Malaysia hopefully in the next year. And if that happens, and they're expecting a few mil, what was it? What did they say? I forgot. 20 million batteries a year or something? 80 million? I forgot. Sorry. Really clear timeline of everything. Confident as can be, and just beautiful all the way around. And these fuckholes. Let's see. Let's go back to it. So 8:30 the next morning, it opens up down a little bit. 1268, just kind of hanging out, doing nothing. And then, out of fucking nowhere, 9 a.m. Not 11 a.m. Out of fucking nowhere, someone just comes in and just fucking slaughters it. From $12 straight down, runs, stops, straight down, complete blowout. Looks like they kind of stopped selling at about $9.50. They tanked it that hard, and then just kind of the residual blow off was down to 9 even. I mean, I added that morning at 12, and then I got fucking ran over. But I did add more at 10. I think I did a little bit more, like 980, just because it was crystal clear that someone was just blowing out of a position that had nothing to do with earnings. If it had something to do with earnings, it would have been down after hours the next day. That was complete manipulation, complete bullshit. And I called it out numerous times during the day. Like that, what the fuck? Like, this makes no fucking sense. And I was right. That's been the low, and since then, that day it closed at 10:56 ish. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 straight green days, and closed yesterday down a touch today. Well, even today closed at 13.10. That's higher than it was on fucking earnings day, which just proves that was just a complete nonsense blow off horseshit day. And if you're ready for it and didn't get scared out, then you could have added more shares. I did. But this thing's still fucking ripe. It's up against the trend line again, but I mean that was the gift of all gifts, and based on the volume and the bounce that it's had, it's crystal clear what's happening. I think the market finally knows, and the further we go and the more good news it gets, it's gonna, once it breaks through 15, 16, it's gone. I don't think it'll ever come back. So we love that. I think there's Mark Hodes, I don't know how to say his name, but he put something on Twitter, and it was a Novix magnet pack for the back of his iPhone, and it was charging. Not available to the public. They probably sent him one because he congratulated Raj on being a future rich as fuck guy on the first earnings, or his first press release or earnings call or whatever, which was pretty funny. So he's got one, and I mean, that's not the market they're trying to get in. They're just, prototype type things. But I mean, if they start making those, they start getting inside phones, it's game over. These guys are the best in the biz, guaranteed. All right, and then I'll finish up here about why I fucking hate algos. Excuse me. I hate them, one, because it's just a bunch of fucking math, which is, look, it's fine. I understand why it's done. It's all high frequency trading, and it's if this then that, and if something spikes and they have to hedge with options, they do that, and they're making a cent a few million times a day, or hundreds of million times a day, and it adds up for them. But what it does is completely distort and manipulate options, or the entire market. Just look at fucking Meta. Open interest in this week. Open interest in the 235s is 5,500. Then going up the chain, 3,000, 9,800. Those are all calls. Volume today in the 235s, 25,000. 237s, 21,000. 240s, 23,000. Now they update open interest the next day. So in the morning, I can guarantee you that open interest will be looking very similar to this. 5,003.9. Now, will it change maybe 1,000 or 2 each? Sure. Which direction? Either one. But they're definitely not going up 25,000. That's not real. That's all hedging. That's that new spike. Then they had to hedge with options. And then they go, okay, that's enough. And then they unwind. And then they just fucking completely distort price discovery, which is the entire reason the market exists. Price discovery. Free and fair price discovery. And algos and high frequency trading has completely destroyed that. It's kind of why I switched to. Switch to trading almost exclusively futures now, except for I'll buy shares of stuff, and actually I've been trading Meta because I think it's completely undervalued right now. Yeah, I think it's being manipulated, but I think it should be at 242 already. Not in a week like now. So I'm still long those 235s I've mentioned on my timeline a few times, but days like today really make you just go, God, fucking, you guys are just fucking annoying. Just annoying. And that's what they are. They're just annoying. But you adapt or you die. So that's just the way it is. But I'm long going into CPI, which I hate doing. I hate having any position going into CPI. These things could be 0 tomorrow. Or they could be 7. I think they're going to be 7. So that's my bet. And I'm sticking to it. All right. I think that's good for a comeback tour. How long have we gone? 25 minutes. I've kept you way too long. All right. I'm back for good. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Good luck on CPI, 7:30 in the morning. And I will see you guys tomorrow. All right.